organization for 10 years, so I feel really comfortable right now. We've been here for about 6 weeks. Kids started school. Have everything set up, ready to go, and make sure that I can have the best camp possible.
People have talked about kind of the benefits of spending a summer here around the facilities, around your teammates, that kind of thing. Is that a real thing? Is it more comfortable, easier for you to come into training camp this year as opposed to getting here 2 days before camp started last year?
It absolutely is a real thing, because look at the success too that the team had 2 years ago and what I was jumping into. Obviously, I was wanted to help the team, but at the same time, they had so much success prior to the trade that I was a little bit walking on eggshells. That's just naturally my personality. So knowing that now I've kind of earned my right to be a part of this team, and like you said, spend a lot of the summer here and spend it with the guys and get close to them. It's a much different feeling in camp for me this year.
Describe day one. How much fun is this? I mean, hockey's back. Everyone's back in the building. How's it feel?
Yeah, it's exciting. We've had a lot of guys here for a long time, so it doesn't feel that much different because the guys were so anxious to get back here. I think everyone got here pretty early, but at the same time, it's nice to know that season's right around the corner. We got a game here on Sunday. As you saw from that scrimmage, that pace was unbelievable, the best I've seen in a training camp, and we want to try and maintain that to make sure we're ready for game one.
Is there a different vibe around the locker room this time around compared to last year?
Well, yeah, it's a different ending to the season last year as opposed to the year before. Obviously, for myself personally, it's a much different experience right now. I feel much more comfortable being here with the guys, so we definitely have a bit of a chip on our shoulder with the way things ended last year. We've kind of showed that with the testing. Everyone showed up in much better shape than even last year, which was last year everyone showed up in great shape as well, but this was even better. And then, like I said, that scrimmage was the highest pace I've seen in the camp, so it's a good start. The guys were really working hard this summer because, like I said, we were pretty upset with the way things ended, and we want to come out with a vengeance this year.
Some of the guys were kind of disappointed in themselves personally as far as the numbers go. You were hurt a lot last year. I mean, did you feel like you were kind of frustrated with how your season went last year and looking forward to this year?
I was definitely frustrated with, I'd say, the first half. There were so many variables that I had to deal with. Like you mentioned, I kept getting hurt and had a couple nagging injuries that kept aggravating and had to sit out and miss time. Losing Stas, who I kind of came in with as the new guys together, losing him early, losing Tucky early, losing Holla early. It was a revolving door for myself. And on top of that, I was struggling to find my game as well, being in a new environment. When I look back on it, I could either be upset with the first half of the year, or I could say that I was able to make it through it and persevere and put together a good last however many games and a pretty strong playoffs as well. So I think I'm a half glass full type of guy, and while at the beginning of the year I'm first one to admit that I got to be better and things weren't perfect. I'm happy that I was able to kind of overcome it and find my game and ultimately play some good hockey down the stretch.
Does it help knowing that you're going into this year knowing who you're going to be playing with?
A bit, but that changes. The sport of hockey is so much you can't control. I went into last year and, quote unquote, knowing I was going to play with probably Tucky and Stas. Tucky gets hurt in camp and Stas gets hurt game 2 or 3. So that's just, what you're forced to deal with in the world of hockey. Obviously, we knew that given our lineup, the success in that top line, it would be unfair for the coaches to break them up to try and accommodate me. And I understand that, and I think that's what makes this organization special. But I think now we have a little bit more depth where we're able to, whether there's injuries or whether there's chemistry situations they want to mess with, I think we have a couple more guys that are able to fill in those positions and hopefully lead to some good chemistry.
How much does it help just knowing where things are now? You know how to get to the rink, you know where schools are, and you're just not learning all that on the fly while learning how to integrate into this team.
Yeah, last year, I would rush out of the rink and either go look at houses, go house shopping, go check out the schools, go do whatever I had to do to try and make sure that when my family came, they were comfortable. So it's nice enough to deal with that pressure. At the time, you don't think about, if that plays a toll on you, but I think it probably does a little bit. I felt really good these last 5 weeks being able to come here, get situated, train with the trainers here, kind of know what to expect with everything, with testing, with the way camp will go. And like I said, today was a very good first day for everybody, and we got to build off that.
You talked about that chip on your shoulder getting ready for this upcoming season. How important is it to you guys to know that, October 2nd still a long ways away, but these first 2 games are against that rival? What does it mean to you to be able to start the season off like that?
Yeah, we all know it. We all talk. Obviously, everyone mentions it when they talk about the upcoming season, and it's a big rivalry now. It was a rivalry before, but you could feel it everywhere we go. Supermarket, no matter where we go. As soon as you leave the house, if you run into a Golden Knights fan, they're going to talk about the Sharks. They're going to talk about that game, and they're going to talk about how badly they want to beat them those first 2 games of the season. So it's on our mind a lot, given the fact that the community is so much behind us when it comes to that rivalry, and it should lead to a lot of fun.
Do you think it helps that those are the first 2 games, or would you prefer it to kind of build up to that rivalry as the season goes?
Yeah, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we play 82 games before playoffs. I think maybe it can give us a little bit of a boost here in camp to make sure that, no matter what, we're ready for those games, no excuses. But at the same time, it's a long season, 82 games, so we can't get focused on those. But you can put it in the back of your mind and realize that it's going to be a little bit more special to open up the season against them.
Do you remember your first game?